let's go into Karina Gould saying crazy things. She's insulting Pierre Poilievre here for some reason. Didn't she pose with a Nazi? I think she did. Let's go. Let's see what she's saying.
But what I want to talk about today is the fact that what I heard yesterday from Mr. Poilievre was so over the top, so irresponsible, so immature, and something that only a fraudster would do. When he's focused on having an election on the carbon price, what he's trying to do is distract Canadians from his real agenda. When he talks about the fact that, he cares about how Canadians are feeling in difficult economic times, what plan does he put forward? When it comes to our seniors, the only thing that we've heard is that he wants to raise the age of retirement, cut pensions, and remove their access to dental care. When it comes to families who are struggling, what are his plans? Get rid of affordable childcare and scrap the school food program? When it comes to making sure that Canadians have access to good quality information in a time of incredible disinformation, what does he propose to do? Defund the CBC. And yes. All of you as journalists have experienced firsthand how he treats people who try to ask him tough questions, who try to have him face the scrutiny of what he puts forward. And how does he react? As a bully, as someone who will not stand to scrutiny, who will not respond respectfully, not just to you as journalists, but on the questions you're asking on behalf of Canadians, because your job is to get that information to Canadians. And there's a reason why he doesn't want Canadians to know what his true agenda is. And it's because he knows that they won't like it if they find out. And so what we are here today as Liberals in this House going to do, and what we're going to be doing moving forward, is to make sure that we stand up every single day for Canadians, that we push back on his bullying tactics, that we push back on his irresponsible and immature antics in this place.
Well, you know what, Sheila, to paraphrase the most famous line from the movie Jerry Maguire, you had me at defund the CBC.
Right. But did you see what she's... Go ahead.
Oh, she's saying as though it's a bad thing. But, the perverse irony here, Sheila, we've always had the CBC defending Liberals. Now we have Liberals defending the CBC. Can it get any more incestuous?
Yeah, it's like a snake eating its own tail. It's funny that she used the word fraudster to describe Pierre Poilievre when we've got a sitting Liberal MP, Randy Boissonnault, allegedly running a PPE company with a man who looks like the end state evolution of the human race, like in a million years, if we continue to live a comfortable life, he's all long-limbed and frail and androgynous. Anyway, I've gone off on a bit of a tangent, but Randy Boissonnault was running a PPE company, allegedly, or it could be another Randy, who even knows, autocorrect Randy, with his end state evolutionary human, Steven Anderson. And he was voting on pandemic PPE or pandemic lockdowns while running a PPE import company. And then they have the gall to accuse Pierre Poilievre of sounding like a fraudster. You know what sounds like fraud? The Ponzi scheme of the carbon tax she spent a few minutes trying to defend there. The carbon tax that says, first of all, if you give us money, we'll make the weather gooder. And then somehow magically, we'll cycle your money through the hands of 1,000 bureaucrats who don't work for free and then give you back more. That sounds like a Ponzi scheme, right? Like there are people in jail for saying those sort of things in the private sector. And then did you notice the appeal to the journalists? Pierre Poilievre is so mean to you, you guys. Yeah. But us Liberals, we're nice to you. We give you money, wink, 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 wink. And Poilievre, he's so disrespectful. Well, it is true, but they're not even hiding the reason they give the journalists money anymore. They're saying, we're nice to you. We take your questions, mainstream media, and he is not nice to you. And you cannot allow that mean man to be liked by the public. So do what we pay you to do. That's the unspoken thing here. Do what we pay you to do, and we'll continue to pay you.
And Sheila, they're addicted to that money. Let's face it.
Oh, yeah.
So many elements of mainstream media, be it TV, radio stations, and especially newspapers, it's a sunset industry. And I'm really not saying this with any relish. I came into this career as a creature of print, but of course, what the mainstream media was some 40 years ago and what it is today, it's night and day. But one quick experiment, wherever you are living in Canada or the US, folks, get your daily newspaper and count the number of ads in it, because basically the business model of a print product is you need about 60% advertising, 40% editorial. I can tell you, I see publications, I'm not exaggerating, it's 95% editorial, 5% ads. And some of those ads, shockingly, are what's called house ads. It's advertising for products that belong to the news agency. So there's no revenue coming in. In other words, and also subscriptions are down. Advertisers are paying less for a page of advertising or half page, however they're buying it. The point is, Sheila, without government funding, they're dead. They are deader than disco, right? So that explains, I think, a lot at how the kid gloves are on when it comes to covering the Justin Trudeau Liberals. And we don't have to go to some people who's certainly not a household name. Sheila, the head of the fish, Justin Trudeau himself, how many ethics code violations has he committed? How many scandals has he, I have literally lost count. I would have had to sit down before the show and go through it, SNC Lavalin, blackface, it goes on and on. And
that's just him. That's just him. That's not his MPs.
That's right.
That's not Randy Boissonnault. That's not Talib Noor Mohammed, the chronic house flipper, voting on house flipping policies. It's not the Green Slush Fund scandal where we've got the Liberal appointed head of the Green Slush Fund giving her companies money from the Green Slush Fund.
Yep.
Tom Clark, who was appointed to the Tom Clark is a scandal in and of himself. So he's the guy who asked Justin Trudeau when he finally had him alone for an interview, what kind of shampoo that you use. And then the Conservatives thought, who should mediate our debate? That guy. And then it was just a great embarrassment. However, I'm so happy to say we're not that Conservative party anymore. Are we, Pierre Poilievre? But then he gets appointed to the panel that selects the appointees to the board of the CBC. He's the guy that selected Catherine Tate, who doesn't even live in Canada, to be the head of the CBC that oversees the sinking of the ratings, but continues to pay herself and other CEOs bonuses. And get this is a real scandal that nobody's talking about. The head of Shopify, Harley Finkelstein, I believe, he was appointed to the CBC board. Tom Clark said that Harley Finkelstein should join the CBC board when two of Tom Clark's kids were working for Shopify. And then Tom Clark gets appointed to be the Consul General of New York. Justin Trudeau goes to visit him in April. Within days, they're shopping for a new $9 million apartment for Tom Clark. I mean, it's just wild. And the whole point is, there's so many conflicts of interest and scandals brewing. Like Jean Chrétien, I know he's not dead, but I think he's got 1 or 2 feet in the grave already. But this is the kind of stuff he only wishes he could have gotten away with. Instead, he just had sponsorship.
I mean, going back to the Chrétien years, ad scam? Are you kidding me? That doesn't even register today.
Not even close. Not even close. And there are people in jail for that. Yeah. And the stuff that Justin Trudeau is getting away with are just, it's wild. Just foreign interference, we're MPs bought off by China. it just, you can't even think about the banana republic that we have.
You know,
now
Sheila,
become.
you did a great job rattling off all those scandals. Did you mention the We charity scandal?
Oh God, it's so long ago.
No, see what I mean?
Yeah, Justin Trudeau's family getting paid by the charity he's giving a bunch of money to.
Keep it in the family, right?
Oh God, it's just insane.
The Wanted for Journalism t-shirts and hoodies and sweatshirts have arrived. It's not my best picture, folks. Again, this was when I was arrested twice in Toronto, once in March for a Justin Trudeau fundraiser at the King Eddie where the pro-Hamas hooligans came out. And the reason? Trespassing. Can you imagine trespassing in the public square for performing journalism? So that's why we came up with this cheeky shirt. Please go to the rebelnewsstore.com. That's rebelnewsstore.com. And if you support me and if you support my company and all the wonderful people in it, like Alexa Labois and Sheila Gunn-Reid and Drea Humphrey, and of course the big boss man himself, Ezra Levant, if you buy one of those shirts or hoodies or sweatshirts, it helps us with our legal fees. And hey, you're literally wearing your politics on your sleeves. You're showing support for Rebel News